Kim at Pennsylvania Counseling Services, the Renaissance Crossroads Program is going to come to an end, I guess, at the end of the year, or close to the end of the year.
Yes, they're hoping to keep it together till the end of the year.
And that's been a rehab program that has been in existence for 20 years, maybe 20,
yes.
Yeah. Initially funded, well, all along funded by PCCD, and it was a 34-month program. Is that right?
Yes.
And very successful. And Judge Tilwalk and I were talking about it a little bit yesterday. It's really a big loss, but we're maybe the last ones to see it go. The program that it was modeled after back in 2000 or 2001 went by the wayside only 5 years after we started, and we've been 15 years longer. But I guess what I'm, and Pennsylvania Counseling was the provider, but they're having difficulty in staffing it. And that and the funds have been cut over the years, so this has just all sort of combined to see its end. I guess my question is, what does that mean for those types of clients, and what alternatives or what options are they going to have? And I'll also say, I think it was an excellent move on your part to, when the enrollees were notified of the closure coming, they sent probation officers over there to be in place, on hand, so that they didn't panic and say, well, am I going to go back to jail?
Right.
Like, what's going to happen here?
Right. We knew it would generate a lot of questions and possibly panic. And so I wanted to be there to address that head on. As far as future for the participants, we are working with the Crossroads staff right now to come up with individual recommendations for each and every person that best suits them. I'm hoping that some of those will be directed toward the DRC. So some of the participants have been in the program for a very long time. In fact, one of them graduates next week. There are several of them, at least the majority of them, I believe, have been in at least a year. And however, there's one individual who was just sentenced, I believe, in July of this year. So he really has not spent much time on the unit. So I think that particular case is going to require more thought as far as, what the appropriate level of care will be moving forward. But we are dedicated to, try to figure out the best plan moving forward. We also plan on continuing with some of the court sessions, even after the unit closes, to kind of, again, aid in the transition, just to be there as a support for the participants and try to keep that team complement together. We meet as a treatment team and discuss each case to try to develop the best plan of action, and so we want to continue doing that moving forward until we feel like everybody's kind of stabilized and where they should be. It's unfortunate, like you said, we've been very lucky to have this for 20 years, and kind of look at it, it's kind of a dinosaur or a unicorn. We were a very different type of program, and we've struggled with numbers, unfortunately. There have been changes over the past probably at least 10 years that have made things a little bit more difficult, and we've kind of been jumping through hoops and making some changes and just trying to keep the numbers up so we could keep the program, because we believe
the success rate has been
yes,
very good.
because we believe in the program. And unfortunately, we just have gotten to the point, after COVID hit, and now with the staffing issues on top of the numbers, it's just unfortunately not doable.
In fairness to Pennsylvania Counseling, they've contemplated this for years,
yes.
I think, and when funds would be cut from PCCD, they would absorb some of those,
yes.
In-house.
Yes.
So they believed in the program,
yes.
or they wouldn't have continued.
Yeah, they've been fantastic to work with.
Do you know how many graduates successfully? Okay.
I don't.
I have you on the spot today anyway. I'm
head.
sorry about that. Yeah. Judge Tilwalk mentioned to me yesterday that there were a number of people that went through that program successfully that he didn't think were going to make it.
Yes.
And did.
Absolutely. And those are the most exciting cases. You watch the transition that takes place over time, and it really is neat to see and experience and be part of.
Yeah.
I'm thankful we have the DOC as a backup.
Yeah.
DRC?
The DRC?
DRC,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Got the wrong middle initial
Yeah.
there.
Which stands for what?
The Day Reporting Center.
Okay.
Yeah, that's downtown where they can daily come in and or whatever schedule they have to report and get more intensive case management.
So who are, I'm sorry, are we allowed to ask questions?
You may.
Okay. Who are the staffers that are in short supply? Are they therapeutic, like therapists or what?
My understanding is that actually the therapeutic staff is okay. It's more of the tech staff. So it's a 24-hour facility, so they have to have someone on site 24 hours, and trying to staff, just those positions where they're, like the overnight staff, and they've been requiring people to work overtime just to keep shifts covered, and they just have not had any luck filling those positions.
So the residential side of it.
Mhm.
sort of-
Yes.
How much does the program cost in total to run?
So it varies because it depends on how many people are out there, but I don't, when it was first developed, I don't remember what the amount of the grant was. I know, as Jamie said, it has declined over the years, but this year's IP grant to help offset costs was $500,000.
Oh, so that's not something the county can absorb, huh?
I was going to say no one's asked, but we're early, but, well,
Would
it's
it
not,
be,
but it's not a
would it
cost
be a
matter.
Herculean effort for the county to absorb the cost of it in order to keep it running, since Lebanon County has been so successful?
The cost isn't the issue, it's the staffing. I mean, it's not that funding has gone away from the state. The funding, I presume, we would get renewed.
Yeah, we would make application
So
every
it's not
year.
the funding, it's the staffing. It's just the ability to operate.
And the numbers of participants to support it has declined over the years.
So in this case,
Yeah, that was part of
uniquely,
it.
it's not just the money.
That was part of the problem, I think, was to get enough participants to commit to a full-time program like that, as I recall at some of the board meetings that was
Yes.
discussed.
When the program was originally developed, the idea was to use it as a treatment alternative to avoid some state prison sentences. So the individuals that were looked at were looking at state prison sentences. And there were some statute changes that occurred over the years that, for instance, like for a felony drug charge, if you used to deliver in a school zone, there were mandatories that were applied to that. And so the program was more attractive than going to state prison. And when the statutes changed and got rid of the mandatories and different changes came through, people were no longer looking at longer state sentences, and so now the program itself was actually longer than what they were facing in jail time. And so we started to lose some interest there. We did talk about adapting and made some adaptations over the years. We were just in the process of making more adaptations when this all developed.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.